Today I'm going to show you the art portfolio that led me from an aspiring artist to a Marvel comic book artist. How's it going, everybody? Comic book artist and writer Will Robson here. Today I wanted to take a look at my portfolio that I handed in that got me the job at Marvel Comics. Now, this is not the greatest portfolio ever made, but I think it's something that's good for aspiring artists to see, that you don't need to be the greatest artist when you start out. You just need to be good enough for professional work. So a little backstory first. It was 2016 and I was at the tail end of me trying to break into comics. Now, I've been making comics at this point since 2009 with my own indie comic called Dino Zombies that I was releasing online, but that was for pure fun. I didn't start wanting to actually be a comic book artist until about 2012 when I walked into a comic book store and I saw Greg Capullo on Batman. His artwork changed my life. I thought it was the most beautiful art I'd ever seen, and it really inspired me to change my career. So I spent the next 3 to 4 years knuckling down, truly working on my craft. I spent all day, every day drawing. I didn't have much of a social life. I just chucked everything into wanting to be the best comic book artist I possibly could, because I knew that if I concentrated all of my time into pursuing my dreams, I would get there faster. So it was 2016, the beginning of 2016 as well. I believe the con was in February, and I remember seeing an article online saying, hey, C.B. Cebulski's going to be there from Marvel Comics. Now, at the time, he wasn't the editor-in-chief, he was the head talent scout. So, you know, I was obviously thrilled. I thought, wow, I finally have the chance to show my work to a major company. I did not want this opportunity to pass me up. I wanted to make sure that I put together the best portfolio I possibly could to give me the best chance of getting hired. And that's exactly what I did, and that's what I'm going to show you today. This is not the most prettiest portfolio in the world, and you know what? It doesn't even have any action pages in it. That's right, I handed in a Marvel portfolio with 0 action pages, and I got a job at Marvel. So, I'm going to show you what I put in my portfolio and what directly led me to becoming a full-time comic book artist. Let's take a look. Okay, so I have the PDF file here of my Marvel portfolio. I started off with, this was the cover to the portfolio, but here's the thing. Don't just show covers and pinups, because that's not what they're looking for. If you want to draw comics, then you need to show off how you actually would draw the interiors of a comic book. And that's what I show later on here today. But I thought it was important to include at least some covers, because I am actually interested in drawing covers. I love drawing covers. It's like one of the best gigs, if not the best part of the gig. So I wanted to make it clear that I was interested in both. So that was the cover. So I started by saying, hello, I am a digital artist. I don't know why I said that. Like, you could just say you're a comic book artist. I felt the need to say that I was digital. Who cares? I said, I've worked for Image Comics and other small press publishers. Now, I don't know if that helped me at all, but I think it may have created a bit more professionalism to my portfolio. Now, the work that I did for Image Comics, I think I colored 2, maybe 3 pages of a backup story in Savage Dragon. It was not much work, but it was enough work to say, yes, I have in fact worked for Image Comics. So, and then obviously I said small publishers because at the time I'd spent years drawing for small press stuff. Okay, up next I said the following samples are all digital. I don't pencil my pages, instead I send roughs to clients and then final inks. On the left you will see the roughs, on the right you'll see the final inks, all art done by me. This is true, and it's something I still pretty much do today. I do a lot of traditional inking as well, but I do it over digital artwork. I only really do traditional inks if I'm planning on trying to sell a piece, because that's a huge part of the business. Otherwise, I'm pretty much all digital. So I haven't really changed that much since then, but I kind of like that I included that here, because I think a lot of people get confused when you send off a portfolio. I know that they want to see pencils and inks because they may not know what you're showing. You could just be an inker. They don't know that you penciled the pages. So I wanted to make sure that with every page you knew what I was doing. As you can see on this opening piece that I penciled of Spider-Man, it has my name, pencils Will Robson, inks Will Robson, the date. I thought that was important to show, hey, this is when I drew it. And since the con was in February of 2016, I am letting you know this is my latest and greatest work. So I think that's really important. I think a lot of people, they draw a few really good images and then they keep sharing them and sharing them and sharing them. When you do that, you're not telling an editor that you want to be a comic book artist. If you keep having new stuff, you're drawing, you're posting, you're a part of the grind, you are then proving that, hey, I freaking love drawing this stuff and I'm going to keep doing new stuff, because they're going to hire you not to just draw one cool image, right? They want you to draw a book, so start freaking drawing comic books. It's like the best advice I can give. You want to draw comic books? Start drawing a comic book. So here I show off the pencils. Now, I used to use a lot of 3D models at the beginning of my career. I don't really use them anymore. I may use them for like a car or a certain weapon, but I don't just blatantly drop in 3D models in the background like I do here. If I use a 3D model nowadays, I also pretty much ink over it as well. So here's the pencils, and then boom, here's the inks. So as you can see, the inks are a lot better than the pencils, right? This is showing, hey, with me on Final Art, this is what I can do. The advice they always give is you should show pages, and I 100% agree with that. But I just wanted to start off with a couple of, like, hey, check this out, this is what I can do. It's only one, right? It's just a straight up Spider-Man cover, and now we are into pages. So this was from a book called Time of Death. It was an independent book I was working on. Fantastic little book, which I'd like to try and contact the writer again about someday and maybe start it up again because it was a really cool little story. Here I'm showing off my pencils, and then again straight into the inks. Now as you can see here, there's like no shading going on here, right? Like look at all the shading that I put in the pencils. I think that was what I was like, hey, I'm gonna show that to the colorist, like this is what I had in mind for the shading. That's ridiculous. I don't do any of this stuff anymore. I use lots of solid blacks in my work now to really cement this stuff. But the fact that I didn't use it this time was because I just wasn't good enough, right? I just didn't understand how it worked. And actually removing it from my work made my work look better. I was okay at figure drawing and storytelling and form, so it was something that I didn't really need to focus on at that time. Totally different now. So here's this page. I think this page is pretty good. I like it. Going into another page. These pages aren't even in order. I just wanted to show what I thought was like my strongest stuff. I wanted to show off drawing grass and trees and how I would handle that, cars. Because one huge thing that I found really important was in your portfolio, try and show off as much of how you draw everything as much as possible. A great script to use would be like, they're fighting in the city, these two villains, and they go through traffic and past a coffee shop. Or even start with like two people drinking in a coffee shop chatting, then suddenly these two villains have a mega fight, and the fight ends in Central Park. Because that way you're showing how you draw a city, a park, people talking. Make sure you show how you draw women and men. You can't just draw big beefy men, as much as we'd all love to do that. It's all showing how you draw every single thing, because they want to see your range. They want to know that you have the ability to draw everything, because a lot of people are really good at drawing one thing and not much else. So yeah, they're giving you money to create a product, and they need to trust that you can deliver on that product. So show them that they'll have no questions about your abilities. You will be the right person for the job. So here's another page. I like this page. This was another Talking Heads page. Again, show off as many Talking Head pages as possible. Have you seen any action pages from me so far? I've got suspense here, like thriller suspense there. No people punching or anything like that, and this was a portfolio that got me to work with Marvel, so it shows the importance of these pages, because the Talking Heads is king. I really like the way the office turned out there. And then here's another Talking Heads page. At this time, I was doing all this very Greg Capullo and Tom McFarlane storytelling with the panels all over the place. I love this, but I don't really do it anymore. I've gotten really into boring panel layouts. The other way I could say it's boring is because it's like cinematic, right? I'm really focused on those wide shots. Something I'm doing a lot in my current Doctor Doom book is just panel, 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 because I know, I think it's cool. We all change, and I'll probably go back to this someday. So, okay, so next was a big pin-up piece I wanted to show off for Star Wars. Again, I did this piece along with the Spider-Man piece for this convention. I wanted to show Marvel how I draw Marvel properties. Basically, I was thinking about, like, it's Hoth or something like that, and Vader's ready to attack Hoth. Again, now we're in the inks, so the focus is on the gun in the front and the trooper, and Vader pops there. So here we have a piece that it's kind of near and dear to my heart, because this was one of my first creator-owned titles besides Dino Zombies that I was really trying to make, and this was a product I was coming out with called Leave None Alive. It was this huge epic, like 300 issue long thing, which was all about this young girl who got possessed by a demon, but she was able to use the powers of the demon inside of her for good, to try and stop other demonic possession. Something that's kind of a really fun story that I'd like to visit one day again, but I thought this piece was strong and I wanted to include it in the portfolio as well. So I also showed off, this is Cyril Vincent's colors from 2015. Wow, that's 9 years ago now. That's crazy. Cyril is the main colorist on my comic book, Outbreaks. He's doing a fantastic job. I've always loved working with him. He's the brilliant French colorist. If you haven't seen my book Outbreaks, please go and check it out. It is available on Amazon. It's available on Global Comics, so go and check it out. Anyway, back to the portfolio. I wanted to do a print. And at the time, Guardians of the Galaxy had just come out. That's the first one. And obviously we all saw how it connected to Star Wars, so I figured I'd do a piece where it was Guardians of the Galaxy meets Star Wars, right? And I thought it was fun, so I also got Cyril to color that up. And again, I wanted to show these colors off not because, hey, this is my work as a colorist. No, I even credit Cyril there. I just wanted to show them, here's how my work looks when it's done professionally, when a professional colorist is working on it. This is the type of product that I can give to you, the type of thing that you can have on the front of a Marvel comic book. So I thought that was good. And at the end here, there was a time when I nearly drew a Lost in Space comic. I can't even remember the company. I think it was like Boom or Dynamite or something like that. They had acquired the license. And I was trying out for it, and I thought I had a bit of an advantage with my name being Will Robson. That's why I wrote Danger. You can see it there. Danger Will Robson at the top there because of Danger Will Robinson from that show. So this was just something I chucked in quickly to show, hey look, I can do likeness and this, that, and the other. And some terrible 3D model usage all over that piece. But that was my style at the time, right? I was not confident enough, so I used little tricks. But look, 3D models are so okay to use. Marvel provides 3D models if you need them. They have 3D models of a whole New York City for you to use. It's something that's acceptable in the business. These tricks to get these books out have been around for years. People used to use photos in comic books as backgrounds. Todd McFarlane did it on his Spider-Man run, and it looked freaking awesome. So don't be afraid to use them if you need them. So that's what was in my portfolio. Now, make sure you tune in for my next video when I talk about actually how the portfolio review went with CB Cebulski himself at London Super Comic Con 2016, because that portfolio review eventually led me to drawing for Marvel Comics. Thanks again for watching, and remember, keep making comics. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, thanks for following along. If you want to follow me anywhere else, then check me out on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Anywhere there's social media, you're most likely to find me. I also just want to take a quick second to say that coming April 1st is the next issue to my zombie comic Outbreaks. It's a really fun one, and we've got an amazing artist on the main cover. You will not believe the superstar that's going to be drawing the cover for issue 3. So head to my website, speechcomics.com, sign up for my newsletter, and I will let you know when we go live on April 1st. Thanks again.